Hello! In the last session we examined the album data model and updated it to include two new columns, and in this session we're going to carry those changes through to the create and update actions. Let's look at the album controller and see how we use the model in a create and update scenario. When we want to create a new album, we create a new instance for the album active record model and use this with our create form. The create form is the same form as used by the update action. When we post this form back to the create action, the post variable contains an array, as you can see from this screen capture. The active record class has a facility to massively assign the post album array to the corresponding attributes into the album model. And the save method then triggers the validation rules defined in the model, and the save will fail if any of the validation fails. In this case, the create update form is recalled. Otherwise, the user is redirected to the view form. We've already seen the use of CHTML to generate HTML tags in our views, and the same applies in our update forms. We can use the $form text field, which is an instance of the active form class, or we can use CHTML active text field directly, both of which will change the class if an error is detected, which visually turns the field red. We can also easily enable AJAX validation by setting the Enable AJAX Validation option in the form to be true, and then uncommenting the Perform AJAX Validation option in the controller. When we do this, each field is validated on losing focus. When create and update actions have successfully saved the data, the flow is diverted to the view form. For me, this isn't very user-friendly, and I'd rather remain on the update form with a confirmation that my data has been safely saved to the database. To do this, we could use a facility called flash messages, which are messages that are written to the user section and therefore can be read across controller boundaries. So in our create and update controller actions, we're going to add flash messages for successful and unsuccessful saves, and then in our form we can display those messages at the top of the form. I'm going to use the flash name to also control the style, which has already been created in our theme PhotoGal. Whilst we're in the form, we can also tidy it up. We'll remove the ID and the created date, and we'll change the shareable field to a checkbox. And then we'll add our description as a text area with HTML options for columns and rows. And then I'm going to remove this mandatory fields paragraph, and then save. Okay, let's have a look at those changes. So I'll create a new album, and let's call it Villages, and then I'm going to add a description that is way too long and it will return a validation error message, and the field goes red. And then I'll make it valid and save the record, and we'll see the flash message showing a successful form save. And the same will happen with the update form. Okay, that's looking quite good. Now I'm going to set some homework for you. We're in a position to tidy up the underscore view and the view views used by these two methods, much like we did with the photo albums back in section 3.2, removing fields that we don't want to display and also using our new fields. Here are some suggested layouts with class identifiers that have already been added to the PhotoGal theme. So good luck with that, and if you don't get the chance, they'll be available in the next section's download. So we've seen how Yii uses the data model in the create and update actions, and how we can use flash messages to display within or across controller actions. In the next section, we're going to add a subform to display photos within our album display.